you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick me.
Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field just south of Buffalo, New York. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Go now. 10 Tucson.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Under crunch, under crunch, under crunch. Spin.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And not the start.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view, hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby, I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks, I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Death comes in threes, wins come in twos, cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me, oh that's a good one. Pockets of death, I think my bread is hard as a cruise on. Receipts in my pocket, don't come with a coupon. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out, might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess on my schedule. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die.
Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field just south of Buffalo, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Set. 30 base.
Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Snap.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself the best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Ready?
On 1st down, Herbert. And he finds the tight end, Reed. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
To throw on 2nd down, Herbert. And this one complete to Reed. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. These guys hooking up right away here, Charles. 2 plays, both passes in his direction, and both catches.
And in our time together, have we not seen the tight end position continue to develop in the passing game? You know, at some point, we may not call them tight ends anymore. We may have to come up with an entirely different way of designating that position and what they do on the field. Because when I hear tight end, I think of the old school, hand in the dirt, blocking on the line of scrimmage. These guys are much more receiver than they are guys who are going to move into the running game.
Back to throw. Herbert, he's going to loft one. Deep left. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Wassup looking for a new sub.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader able to record his 5th sack of the season. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
49 the mic, watch 49. I smell fear now.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll hit Jackson complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
We got 3. We got 3. Fair. Jumper. You're out.
Snap.
Throwing on first down. Herbert under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Move. Three down. Check it back.
Look at me. Go. Shoot.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert, it's caught by Jackson. And he'll go down at the 28. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Be careful.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on, because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
That's what you call a rookie mistake. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 19-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Chiefs 7, Bills nothing.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
There you go. Check go.
2nd and 9 now. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 42-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
15 line. 5.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. 2nd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz, too fast to handle.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Making the tackle, Gerald Hodges.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. But he's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. you got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and 14. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Shoot.
Back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Lamb. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. But he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
On the ball. Ready?
They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. A gain of 3, second down. Now a give to Jacobs running right.
Josh Jacobs, the ball carrier. He was taken down by Brady Wagner. It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow is still continuing to fall as we are back underway.
Let's go, fellas.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Now Gordon. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. from the gun. Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way, creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. You got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Ready, break.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Get.
On 1st down, Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It is on 49.
Ready, 50, plant.
Check 53. Right here, right here.
Let's go.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Come on, set. Hey, orbit. 18, Gator.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 50.
Snap.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. And the great veteran Eric Berry back to knock that one away. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Throwing to start the drive. Herbert escaping the pressure right. Pass incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
Ready.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Herbert. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Lorenzo Carter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
I got it. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. He gets it to Brown. Complete. 23 yards on the play. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking to throw. And able to find Kirk complete. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Now he lets it go. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Christian Kirk, touchdown number 15 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. The Bills offense staying out there as they'll line up and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, Sam off. Switch. Hard. Kill. Hey, lock it. Shoot.
To throw again. Herbert. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He's checking.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Dante Jackson picks it. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They run it with Jacobs. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Open man is Kirk, complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short, no gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. So with less than a minute gone by here in this 4th quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great 4th quarter.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw. Herbert eluding the pressure right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 3rd down, Herbert. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. There he goes, right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards. And the Bills have taken the lead.
And how about that play right there? 4th quarter, tie tie game. Both sides trying to figure out who's going to make the big play. We just saw it right there in front of us. That's a monster return.
Indeed, breaking that tie with an exclamation mark. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff.
The Chiefs take over first and 10.
Let's go.
At their own
Let's go.
25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Back to throw. Herbert. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
The Chiefs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That's pulled in at the 32. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Ready up.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes
in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Herbert, he's going deep for Brown. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now again, right side, Swift. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. On 2nd down now, Swift. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Go, go, go.
Give me some.
Defense.
Throwing again. Herbert. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
You got three down.
Ready?
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon.
Got you, boy.
It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it, and let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter, but a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there, but in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold, they walk away with a win. Maybe expend a little more energy than they expected to, but they'll take it.
So for the Bills, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, it's just their 3rd loss as they fall now to 10-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, no. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear. When you stop so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls and the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter rock. Turn it up, we giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
100 yard dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold copy. End zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when I tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable.
What's poppin'?
I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like